Okay, hello, fellow Hoffers, friends, family, and whoever may happen to upon this. Um, I've been kind of wondering. I'm assuming sometime in the future we're going to call this what we're going through right now. There'll be a name for it, the Great Quarantine, whatever. I'm sure there'll be some really creative, unique names out there, but something we'll all use. And it just got me to thinking. For those of you who maybe remember a great movie, Patton, with George C. Scott, in the very beginning of the movie, there's an opening monologue where Patton is George C. Scott standing in front of this giant American flag, and he's addressing his troops before they head off into the war. And he's trying to talk to them about they'll be okay, that they will perform as they need to perform as is required. And one of the thing he says, and when you get back from the war, and it's 30 years from now, and your grandchild's sitting in your lap, and he says, Pops, what did you do in the Great War, World War II? You won't have to tell them, as Patton did, I was shoveling shit in Louisiana. That's not the story we want to tell. We want to look back on the Great Quarantine, and we're going to have to tell a story, whatever that story is. Because our grandchildren and our children will ask us 10, 15, 20 years from now, what were we doing during the Great Quarantine? But so, I just realized it'd be very easy, and it has been off and on easy, just to kind of get into a routine of really not accomplishing anything. Getting up and doing some stretches and some exercises, my Wim Hof breathing, checking the internet out. There's no sports to track, so I wasn't able to do that. And just kind of, before I know it, the day's over and I've killed the day, and I really haven't accomplished much. So kind of like I've started peeling back the onion, if you will, to, what has changed in my life. Okay, what's changed from the external side? Of course, I'm not leaving the house much. I'm not seeing friends. I'm not conducting Wim Hof method classes. There's been a lot of changes. But of course, that filters down to what has it changed in your life on a daily basis while you're at home. And as I think about it, and as I started trying to pay more attention to this, I am doing a better job of. I'm pretty good at procrastinating particularly something that maybe I don't want to do. I'll tend to maybe put it off, and I'm finding that I'm more interested in dealing with things as they happen. Maybe it's because I perceive I have the time where I didn't in the past. I'm not sure. I'm doing more exercise. Definitely more family communications from my siblings and my children, from Zoom calls to writing letters and certainly emails and phone calls. So there's things like that have changed. But a friend of mine who I call Jesse a friend, Jesse Itzler, kind of got involved with some of the things that he's doing recently. And one of the things he talks about that I think is so awesome is having an annual, I hope I pronounce this right, Misogi. And really what that is, it's having doing something hard every year. Doing something hard that has an impact on the other 365 days of that year, and then on your life moving forward, and doing at least having one Misagi every year. And so when I heard him talk about that, I really I wasn't just going to say, okay, I'm going to work out every day. I wanted something that was meaningful, and I actually had one for last year, which I didn't complete until this year, but it was running my first marathon, which was a trail run, which I've talked about on these videos, which was something I'll always remember. I absolutely did more than I thought I could ever do physically in my body, but I knew going in that I would complete it, and I did. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, but it'll be rewarding forever. And that was definitely something that impacted my life last year, and it will my life moving forward. So I finally came up with my Misogi for this year, for 2020. And it's something I've been kind of dabbling in. I have most of the at least a great number of the tools necessary, and that's painting. But I've just in the last couple of weeks really discovered, you know what, I'm really enjoying this when I do it. When I don't even need to set aside the time now, of course, because I'm home anyway. So it's allowed me to kind of kickstart this habit. So I've enjoyed, and I've always knew I wanted to try to paint, but I wasn't sure what. And I've kind of settled into an area I think I'll enjoy. At least I'm gonna pursue it, and I'm hoping when the year is over, I've just graduated from elementary school to junior high school art level, and by the end of the year, I want to be, on a well, certainly beyond high school, but at a level that I appreciate and I enjoy doing and creating. So I have a lot to learn about it. I'll show you my first, well, not my first, but most recent completion just a couple hours ago, which I'm proud of. Hopefully that shows up on the camera. I'm not sure. I'll sit back, I'll zoom up. In fact, I was so unsure about it when I started, I just did it on a canvas paper instead of on some type of, but I'm enjoying it. And I know I got a lot to learn to improve, and that if I paint that same image a year from now, it'll be significantly better. But I feel like I'm on to a great start. So that's what I'm doing for this year. So the key is, what's your story going to be? What are you going to do that you can look back, and whether you created a Misagi for the year or you just changed some habits, maybe you're doing your Wim Hof breathing every day just because you're focused on your health. Maybe you've done some other things with health, your family, or writing. I'm also writing more than I have. So what's your story going to be? So the message is, don't wait until it's over and say, damn, I wish I'd done that, or I wish I'd done this. Do it. Just get started. Thanks. Enjoyed visiting. And again, if you ever have any questions, you need to reach me, don@flowgevity.com, FLOWGEVITY.com. And thanks again for your time. So long.